Okay, everybody, welcome back. I'm actually going to kind of take a step back a little bit, and we're going to just go through a whole body awakening today. This is going to apply both for the Latin dances and the standard dances. It's really just something to get your body loose, moving, and ready to do the best dancing that you can. This is something that I would recommend to honestly doing before every practice, every time you do anything. And it's just another good way to kind of get the muscles alive, something that I'm sure we all need right now. So follow along. This is, again, something else. You can take these individual exercises and do them again, especially if you have some problem areas. Let me know what you think. And again, I'll ask this every single time, but if you want to see something, please put it in the comments below. Specific dance, specific technique, really anything that we can be doing while we're all locked up, together but apart. See you out there.
And I'm just going to pause here to say that I've had to do this about 5 different times because technology doesn't work, so I really do care about you.
Alright, so we're gonna get started from the ground up, starting with heel lifts. Get ready, and up, down. Just keep it going. And the thing to think about here is every single thing that we're doing, make sure you're keeping your core nice and tight. You don't want to be flopping around. Every single time, every exercise, keep that core engaged for that nice dancer posture. Now that we've got the calves warmed up, we're going to move on to our legs. So I want you to bend your knee one leg at a time. We're starting with our left leg. And that right leg, that's basically whatever you're comfortable with. If you're good with it, balance and strength, lift that other leg up and just go with a single leg, but it's whatever's comfortable for you.
A great big party every night. That doesn't sound too bad. A redhead on my left eye.
Let's move on to the right leg now. Same thing, pick whatever challenge you want for yourself, and remember, this is a warm-up. We want this to be the beginning, not the end of your practice. So you don't want to feel like you're pushing yourself to your limits. It's just to wake up all of the muscles. Lift that foot if you're able to, but if you're not, that's totally cool too. We just want to get you moving.
Your modesty becomes you, and your sense of responsibility. I've worked hard for everything I've got, and that's the way
Alright,
it's
so we've worked up those legs. Now we're going to move on to the
At
hips.
least I'll act like one.
Start with some leg lifts out in front. And as we're doing this whole thing, make sure to keep your core nice and tight so you are standing straight up and down no matter what your leg is doing. Especially when we're off to the side, it's easy to start drifting off to the side when you lift your legs, so think about crunching that side of your hip so you can stay nice and tall. Same thing going back. Only use that glute in the back so you do not tilt forward. Balance can also start being an issue here, so make sure you're keeping yourself nice and straight, nice and tall. Good job, keep it going. And we're gonna go back to the front again, keeping that leg straight as possible. Again, as high as you can in comfort. Alright, other leg now. Same thing. Think about keeping everything tight, keeping that balance, and start trying to increase that range of motion. See that sometimes I get a little off balance too, that's totally okay. Just keep working through it. Good job. Couple more up front again. Nice work. Now we're going to move up to our torso now, getting that. It's going to kind of be the opposite, so stretch your arms out as much as you can. And now we're leaving the hips where they are and reaching side to side. So you can see that my whole torso is kind of moving as a unit. That's what you want to be aiming for too. As you get looser, try and increase that range of motion with each stretch. You can also do the same thing forward and backwards. So when you go backwards, really tuck your shoulders around. When you go forwards, really throw your shoulders back. Again, increasing that range of motion. Forward and back. Forward and back. We can do the same thing, adding all of them together. So now we're taking it side, forward, side, back. Keep going. Side, forward, side, back. Again, try and increase that range of motion. And switch directions. Back, side, forward. Nice job. Okay, so now we're going to smooth everything out. Instead of hitting each side, now we're going to make a big old circle. So side, back, side, forward. As big of a circle as you can. Again, try and keep those hips in place, just moving that torso.
Every gal in Constantinople lives in Istanbul, not Constantinople. So if you could date in Constantinople, she'd be waiting in Istanbul. Even old New York.
Excellent. Alright, so now we're going back into the hips, and now more of a stretch. It'll feel kind of like cha-cha, so keep yourself nice and tall, but push your hips back as far as possible by straightening and bending your knees. This is really about range of motion. Loosen up the hips, but push them back as much as you can. And if you've been with me before, you'll know that I'll tell you to keep your head nice and tall, keep your body upright, and your shoulders forward as you're shooting those hips back. Now up to tempo. Tap, 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 tap. Okay. Now we're going back into the shoulders. So reach out as high as you can and actually bring those elbow creases so they're up towards the ceiling, not towards me. And we're going to start doing some arm circles, really getting ready for a good dancer's frame.
Take me back to Constantinople. No, you can't go back to Constantinople. Now it's Istanbul, not Constantinople. Why did Constantinople get the words?
Keep those arms as straight as possible. You need to loosen up your neck by rolling it around a little bit, but keep those arms out. Remember, you don't want to push yourself to your limit, but you definitely want all these muscles to be warm. Other way now.
That's too fast.
Trust me.
Good job. Okay, so now we're going towards ourself and away. So squeeze in, push out. Really resist yourself using those chest muscles to go in and back muscles to go out. If you're like me, your shoulders are definitely getting a little warm now. One more. Up to the top and back to the side. If you did my waltz lesson, this will really feel like that Spilo position. That's because that's what that is. Nice work, because when we're doing this, it's getting you ready for a frame, whether you're a leader or as a follower. Now the final thing we're going to do just to loosen ourselves up is a shoulder shrug. So really get those shoulders up as high as you can towards your ears, push them down, because I'm sure all of us are spending a little too much time in front of a screen. Always good to loosen up, and it just feels good. Going the other way now. A couple more. Alright, well thank you for joining me. I hope that felt a little better for you, and I will see you on the next one.